on Facebook at Love 99.5 FM, Joy Learning and Joy Prime 2 p.m. each day. The Love FM High Schools debate, trumpeting the voice of young ones on issues.
My name is Patricia Amabonsu. If you are listening to us on radio, it is Love 99.5 FM. If you are watching us on TV, it's Joy Prime and Joy Learning on your multi-TV DJ box, and also on our social media handles, specifically Facebook and YouTube. We are seeing contest 2 of the quarterfinal stage, I must say, of the 7th edition of the Love FM High Schools debate, and we are happy to share with you that we do this in collaboration with the Ghana Education Service, the Conference of Heads of Assisted Senior High Schools, the Ashanti Regional Students Representative Council, Joy Prime, Joy Learning, and all of our proud sponsors. And so we say thank you and ayuko to all of you. Just as I said, contest 2 of the quarterfinal stage. Yesterday, KNUST made it to the semi-finals, and so today let's see which school will join KNUST, and contest 2 is going to be between Osei Adutwum Senior High School and Prempeh College, a one-time winner for this particular debate, and they are going to argue for and against the motion quote, the creation of a single currency is the only way to Africa's economic development, unquote. We have Osei Adutwum arguing for the motion and Prempeh College arguing against the motion, and I have my friends here already, as you can see from the shots. Let's have a conversation with them, and I'm just going to go straight to the school that is arguing for the motion this afternoon. This gentleman here, very handsome. Let's talk to him and find out what we should take away from Osei Adutwum. We are live on radio, Love 99.5 FM, and also on TV, Joy Prime, Joy Learning. What are we taking away from Osei Adutwum today?
So I'm saying Anakwame, the assistant boys prepare for Osei Adutwum Senior High School, and I expect the Love FM to expect nothing but excellence. Let's contest against us, Prempeh College today.
Okay, let's see if Prempeh agrees with what Nana Kwame has said. And I have this gentleman also here. I see Stanley written in his shirt. Stanley, introduce yourself to us, and let's see what Prempeh is also going to do today.
I'm the person of Stanley K. Apia, Prempeh College Form 1 student. And Prempeh College is here to win, and we are going to qualify to the semi-finals.
All right, Stanley says Prempeh is going to the semi-finals. Let me also go back and now speak to the patron for Osei Adutwum. Madam, good afternoon. We meet again. Let's know your name for, of course, the people who are watching you for the first time, and what Osei Adutwum is going to do specifically today.
All right, so please, my name is Abigail Kaidebi. And first of all, we want to thank God for how far He has brought us and how far He will be taking us today. And we know that all our aspirations will be manifested today, and also all our efforts will be crowned with victory by the help of God.
All right, thank you so much. And I'm going to end at George. He is with Prempeh College. George, let's get your full name and whether you agree with all the things that Osei Adutwum also have said a while ago.
Yeah, thank you, Pat. My name is George Usubanahine. Whether I agree or not, we are not the ones going to do. We are not the active players. So, as I normally say, after every contest, we do assessment. We come back to prepare for the next one. And I think we've done enough to propel us to the next stage.
Okay, all right. So thank you so much. Remember that the Love FM High Schools debate is the leading debate campaign in Ghana, and it is the place where we give a voice to our younger ones to have a platform or a voice on issues of national interest. Remember also that the hashtag is LUVFMHSD on social media. We'll be reading out your comments, but for now, I'm handing over to David at the auditorium for us to continue the 7th edition of the Love FM High Schools debate.
Well, thank you very much, Patricia Amabonsu. It's a very, very beautiful, warm afternoon here. It's a Tuesday, and we're gathered at the Christian Service University, where we're bringing to you the second quarterfinals of the 2025 edition of the Love FM High Schools debate. OSAS! OSAS! Great OSAS! A man for. A man for. A man for. You know, I want you to put your hands together for our partners, and I'm talking here in terms of about the GES Ashanti, the Ashanti Regional SRC, CHAS, and of course this beautiful university, the Christian Service University. One more time, put your hands together for them. And like Patricia said, this is the biggest debate platform you can find anywhere in Ghana. 7 years ago, we gave birth to this very beautiful, competition. It's been growing each year. And today, we're here to witness the second contest in the 2025 edition in terms of the quarterfinal stage right here. And I like at this point in time to say to you, those of you watching us on television, on Joy Prime, and of course Joy Learning, those of you watching us on Facebook on Love 99.5, and those listening to us on radio also on Love 99.5, we say thank you. Thank you for making time to watch. Thanks very much for listening. And for those of you watching us on Facebook, you know the drill already. Please make time and tell us which of the two schools you think is going to make it to the next stage of the competition. That will be the semi-final stage. And when the debate begins and you hear the debaters make some very cogent points and you're excited about it, you can drop comments about what you hear. Each and every time I get the opportunity, I say to you that what we're about to do or what we do here is purely academic. So there are occasions and times where the debaters themselves would have done some research and they've added some names and some things to their debate just to make it more juicy and more exciting and entertaining, as well as educative and informative. If you hear your name mentioned or you hear the name of your institution mentioned, please don't take it negatively. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like at this point in time to say a big thank you to some of our sponsors. To begin with, I have before me Yas Toothpaste. Now, Yas Toothpaste offers a complete oral health solution with 3 variants. They have the Yas Total Care, the Yas Whitening, and the Yas Herbal. Now, it is formulated to protect against cavities, tooth decay, plaques, and bad breath. Yas Toothpaste also promotes a brighter smile, healthy gums, and stronger teeth for maximum protection. Always use Yas Toothpaste with Yas toothbrushes, which are available nationwide. Yas, caring brand for caring families. The Jackson University College is also here in the Ashanti region and even beyond. Now, the Jackson Institute of Innovation and Leadership, JIL, in partnership with the British Council, the IELTS and IDP, are offering IELTS tuition in Ghana for those aiming to work or study abroad. They provide in-person and online classes. JIL also has a Study in Quebec, Canada program for English fluent or French learning children aged between 5 to 15. So they assist with documentation and offer flexible rates. You can find their campus at number 4 Jackson Street, that is at Aiduasi near KNUST. You want to send them a mail, the address is len@jil.edu.gh, or you can also visit www.jil.edu.gh for more details. Jackson University College, hope for a brighter future. I enjoyed for the very first time the H&H Gary mix, and I loved it. So if you're a student here or you're a parent watching us on television, listen. If you're looking for a quick, tasty, and satisfying snack, the H&H 4-in-1 Gary Mix is your perfect answer. Now, this popular choice features crispy Gary, creamer, roasted granules, and sugar. Just add water, and for me, I prefer Venua mineral water, and stir. Then you get to enjoy and get to understand what I'm talking about. They also have the H&H, choco malt Gary soakings and the H&H soya Gary soakings that has been added to the family. Grab these affordable H&H Gary Mix products in shops nationwide. H&H 4-in-1 Gary Mix, it is a perfect mix of crunch, flavor, and fun. You want to send money to somebody, you want to receive some money, you want some assistance. Listen, many Ghanaians are unaware of essential emergency numbers, including those for financial crisis. However, EcoBank has introduced a new money emergency number, *770#. Now, this service provides instant access to crucial financial services like loans, fund transfers, utility payments, airtime, and data purchases. Even without an internet connection, dial *770# today and get immediate financial assistance. EcoBank is the Pan-African bank. Now, let's talk about Bonva Stores. Now, Bonva Stores is your reliable partner for travel, work, or study abroad aspirations. They provide extensive services like visa assistance, hotel and flight bookings, guided tours, corporate travels, and school excursions. With over 10 years experience, they make travel documentation and consultation stress-free. Bonvas also has paid internships in Japan for IT students and hospitality jobs in the USA, Spain, and France. Locate them near the Victory Baptist Church at Eija, or you can visit www.bonvastores.com. Bonva Stores, the joy of tourism. Now to the Christian Service University. Now they are admitting students for the 2025-2026 academic year. Undergraduate and master's programs are offered at CSU with morning, evening, and weekend schedules. CSU provides half scholarship to prospective students with an aggregate of 6 to 15. Locate CSU at Star Junction, Santase. You can also visit csu.edu.gh for admissions and other enquiries. CSU, faith scholarship, and integrity. Now, from where I'm standing, I can see Becca move her feet. Whether she's playing some music in her head and she's dancing to it, I don't know. What's on your mind, Becca?
It's gonna be a feisty contest, and I'm looking forward to having the results. I don't know which school is going to win, but today I'm saying to you all, may the best school win.
Well, I'm sure they will not disappoint us, because yesterday we had a very beautiful contest. OLAG and KNUST was beautiful. I'm sure that we're going to have an equally good contest this afternoon. Patricia.
David.
So when you were speaking to them at the foyer, what did they say to you?
Well, Osei Adutwum wants to get to the semi-finals. Prempeh College also wants to get to the semi-finals. But I know Rebecca is currently fighting for her husband. Yasantwa and Prempeh College. Please, you cannot deny it. True or yes? Say something. Anyway, while she thinks about her answer, let me say thank you to New Generation Investment Services. That's NGIS. They are offering managed investment, assisting with pension planning, and also managing our Tier 2 and Tier 3 pensions. We also have the Enidaso Mutual Fund, the NGIS Money Market Fund, and private funds. Talk to our seasoned advisors about your investment goals and aspirations today. And remember that NGIS is licensed by the Securities and Exchange Commission and the National Pensions Regulatory Authority. Locate us on the first floor of the Cocoa Board House in Edum, Kumasi, and also go online, www.ngis-group.com. NGIS, achieving excellent results on your investments.
Now, we also say thank you to Amanono Rural Bank PLC Limited, which offers commercial, salary, auto, personal, group, SME, agric, and Nkoswa microfinance loans. They also operate different accounts and Enidaso Susu Savings. Receive your local and international money transfers from us. We are headquartered at Nginahini, opposite the lorry station. You can also find us at Emrom Estreso Ebuakwa, Tafo, BBNE, and Asafo Market near the VVIP bus terminal. Amanono Rural Bank, service beyond expectation.
We also say thank you to Delta Paper Mill, who have brought to us Flora tissues, and Flora tissues are providing our homes, our schools, our offices, our cars, and so many other places with the most hygienic, absorbent, and affordable option to clean dirt, sweat, makeup, mucus, and even tears. Flora disposable 3-ply handkerchiefs, toilet rolls, multi-purpose towels, table napkins, and box tissues come in beautiful new packaging such as Flora Joy, Flora Smile, Flora Giant, and also Flora Kids. Get Flora tissues in any supermarket, I must say, or in traffic. We are thankful to all Ghanaians for making Flora tissues #1.
Now, for high quality, customized, elegant, and affordable wedding, engagement, promise rings, visit St. Ben Jewelry today. We design white, yellow, rose gold, and silver rings, earrings, bracelets, wristwatches, and other accessories. We offer special flexible payment terms for couples. You can locate us at Amakum, opposite Edward Nassar, and Adum Chelsea House, opposite Standard Chartered Bank. St. Ben Jewelry, dream it and it will be done.
We say Aiko also to Best Brain Publications, because every child with a good future depends on the foundation laid for them at the basic level. And so if you are a school, a teacher, a parent, or a guardian, and you're looking for quality NACA and GS approved textbooks for your ward, then contact Best Brain Publications today at Pankrono Kumasi. Best Brain Publications, securing tomorrow's academic well-being today.
Now, let's say thank you to Dunamis Plast, which provides quality, affordable, and fire-resistant interior and exterior security, bulletproof PVC interior and waterproof doors for homes, schools, churches, and other institutions. Our wooden doors come with frames and panels, and as well as accessories. We also have beautiful furniture from Turkey. You can find us at Anhojo Atinga Junction off the Lameta Road, Tanoso opposite the Catholic Church, and Buonho close to the Cars Quarry Factory. Dunamis Plast, we give you real value for your money.
And if you really prioritize your family's health and also get to enjoy delicious meals, then reach out for family products today, because they are the great choice for you. Discover family mackerel in tomato sauce, family sardines in vegetable oil, and family tomato mix. All family products are rich in nutrients and prepared with your family's well-being in mind. For bulk purchase, contact Grady Enterprise or go to any supermarket nationwide and you will find family products.
Now, ABA Herbal Center specializes in the treatment of glaucoma, cataract, long and short-sightedness, and every kind of eye problem. If you experience menstrual disorder, hypertension, stroke, prostate, liver, and kidney-related diseases, we are here to help you. Visit ABA Herbal Center today in Kumasi at Kwadaso Ejunase behind the main market, and at Doma Ahinkro, we are near the Ebenezer Preschool adjacent Apia Kubi Cold Store.
Before David takes it away, let's say thank you to Royal Mental Arithmetic System, Royal Maths, a unique abacus program that applies mental arithmetic to everyday life, building a strong foundation for critical thinking and also STEM education. Through playing, learning, and applying these concepts, Royal Maths offers a whole brain development program designed to help our children overcome the fear of maths, boost their confidence, and also bring out the inner geniuses in them. Now, Royal Maths, we give unique education. We make sure every child is a champion, and we conquer the world. Thank
and
you
lastly,
very much.
on my list, we say a big thank you to Trade Winds Chemists. They're the producers of the most effective anti-malarial treatment, Traumatem. Traumatem is an antihistamine-based product that contains artemether and lumefantrine, and the 24 blister pack of Traumatem tablets is a 6-dose full-course treatment for malaria. Do consult your doctor if symptoms persist after 3 days.
Well, thank you very much, ladies. And you know what? I'm wondering how their various campuses is looking like this afternoon. I'm sure that there's a giant screen maybe around the dining hall area or around the assembly area.
Yes.
And they're seated behind the television, hoping with their fingers crossed that their debaters will do them proud. Am I right? Yes. Very well. So you can be saying a word of prayer for the debaters who will be mounting the podium in a bit. But for now, thank you very much, Patricia, and thank you very much, Rebecca. Oftentimes when the debaters mount the podium, they address the chairperson. So let me introduce her to you. Now, she's a very special person to all of us, and she's been with us from the very inception of the Love FM High Schools debate. Now, between the years 1979 to 1992, she was the assistant headmistress for Kumasi High School. Then she moved on. In 1992 to 2008, she became the pioneering headmistress of KNUST. Then she moved on again in 2009 to form the Jackson Educational Complex together with her husband, Professor Jackson, which is now the Jackson University College. Jackson University College has over 22,000 graduates, and they are now offering master's programs. Jackson University has also added a new department called the Jackson Institute of Technology. Ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to introduce you our chairperson and also the ambassador for the Love FM High Schools debate, Mrs. Theresia Jackson. Earlier on this year, Patricia gave her a new name, but I'm not permitted to mention the name up until the final day so that I can run away so I don't get a knock from her. One more time, a round of applause for our chairperson for the Love FM's High Schools debate. With that out of the way, I'd like to introduce to you our panel of judges. Let me start with the only female judge with us this afternoon. Her name is Dr. Mrs. Lucy Bonku, also known as Mama Lou. Now, she is a senior lecturer at the Kumasi Technical University, and she teaches English and communication skills. She has more than 30 years' experience in her bag or her purse. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for one of our judges for the afternoon, Dr. Mrs. Lucy Bonku. Yeah, Mama Lou, that's the name. Also with us this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, is Professor Anthony Kofi Osei. He's an associate professor at the Department of Economics at KNUST. He has also taught for over 30 years. He is here this afternoon as one of our judges as well. His nickname is OFAG. Please put your hands together for Professor OFAG. Dr. Peter Arthur is the lead judge for the Love FM High Schools debate. Now, he is the former head of English Department and former head of the Language and Communication Sciences Department at the KNUST. He delves into textuality, oral and written, and all kinds of text. Please put your hands together for Dr. Peter Arthur. Born on a Sunday, so-called Kwesi. And because his name is Peter, many people call him Pierrot. But I could choose to call him the empiricism man. Okay, with that out of the way, this is going to be contest 2 in the quarterfinal stage of the Love FM High Schools debate. And you know the drill already. We have what we call the unanimous decision and the majority decision. Unanimous decision means simply that all three judges scores for the winning school, the school that will advance to the semi-final stage of the competition. Then we have the majority decision, which means 2 judges out of the 3 will score for the winning school. So let's say, hypothetically speaking, one judge gives you a certain score that is higher than the one of the rest of the judges. It does not mean you've won. You need to have 2 judges' consent before you advance to the next stage of the competition. I hope that has sunk down well with you. With that out of the way, I'd like to invite to the podium and, of course, to grab the microphone to run us through how they do their scoring as judges. and also run us through the rules of engagement. Ladies and gentlemen, please show some love to Dr. Peter Arthur as he comes to do this for us all. So for now, I am done.
It's good that you are done. Yes, Madam Chair. Yeah, I always keep saying that this platform is for incubating wisdom in the young ones. And with your permission, I introduce the scores and rules of engagement. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to give you the scores and then the rules of engagement. Now, for scoring, we have 5 parameters. We have organization and clarity, argument and development, effective use of rebuttal, presentation style, and rule as a particular debater. Now, for your organization and clarity. I mean, you are already old in the business, so it's a question of raising how you raise your point, how you develop your point, and how you land. For the first speaker, you are taking 15 marks for that. The second speaker is taking 10 marks for that. And then for the summary, it's supposed to be 5 marks for that. Now listen to this portion very well. It makes all the difference. Argument and development. Of course, we know that you raise a researched point, you support it, and then you give us all the evidence and all that. But this time, you are also going to appeal to the emotion of the people. You are going to engage. So the appeal is very, very important. You don't come here and just complete your script. No, you are involved. The first speaker is taking 15 marks, and the second speaker is taking 10 marks, and then the summary is going for 5 marks. Effective use of rebuttal. You know the deal already, right? Yes, you have to be able to identify the fault in the other person's reasoning, and then you explain it to us. The first speaker is taking 5 marks. Second speaker taking 10, and then the summary is going for 5 marks. Presentation style, engagement, verbal engagement, physical engagement. That is your body language, how you use the platform and all that. But be very careful with your language. It's part of the emotional appeal that we are talking about. The first speaker is taking 5 marks. The second speaker is taking 3, and then summary is going for 2. Role as a particular debater. It's clear. The first speaker is the main speaker, more powerful, more effective. Everything is coming forthright. The second speaker only comes to support. So for the first speaker, it's taking 5 marks. The second speaker is taking 3, and the summary is going for 2 marks. Now, let's pay attention to the rules of engagement. We say that the principal speaker on the affirmative team presents argument in support of the motion, and that takes 10 minutes. Then the principal speaker on the opposing team presents argument opposing the resolution. That also takes 10 minutes. Then the second speaker on the affirmative team presents further arguments in support of the resolution, identifies areas of conflict, and answers questions that may have been raised by the opposition team. That's 7 minutes. Then the second speaker on the opposing team presents further arguments against the resolution, identifies areas of conflict, and answers questions that may have been raised by the previous affirmative speaker. That's 7 minutes. Then the principal speaker on the affirmative team comes with closing statements to their arguments without adding any new information, and also uses the opportunity to respond to rebuttals, if any. That's 5 minutes. The principal speaker on the opposing team comes with closing statement to their arguments without adding any new information, and also uses the opportunity to respond to rebuttal, if any. That is 5 minutes. Now, note this well. Speakers must be very audible, and I always keep on saying that take the microphone close to the mouth. And there cannot be any interruption. Watch that. Every speaker must have his or her turn. The principal speaker is raising five points or less, and the supporting speaker is raising 3 points or less. There are some other external rules, and you know them already. He who asserts, sure, and in order to establish an assertion, the team must support it with enough facts and evidence. And facts and evidence must be accurate. Examples of visual materials are permissible. And once introduced, they become available for the opponent's use if so desired. Tangible evidence must be tendered as exhibits to support facts. And then in rebuttals, the debater rebutting may ask any constructive and clear question that has a direct bearing on the point raised, and the one rebutting must confine him or herself to question and not to make any statement, comment, or ask any rhetorical question. Supporters from both sides has to exercise discipline in order not to induce, frustrate, or intimidate the other speaker. Failure would attract marks from your scores. Now let's talk about time. Debaters must respect time. And when you are bailed out, you must end your presentation. Otherwise, you will lose marks. And in the case of tie, the two schools involved will be given a motion to debate within 2 days or 48 hours. Now, let's pay attention to this. It's been said, and I'm repeating it. The score of one judge cannot overturn that of two judges. There is either a majority decision from the judges, meaning 2 judges out of the 3 score for a school, and there could be a unanimous decision, meaning all 3 judges score for a school. Now, if you have any problem, any issue, please stand back. The gentleman there is responsible for that. See him, and everything will be reversed. Dave, I'm done.
Please put your hands together for Dr. Peter Arthur. His name is not Dan. His name is Dr. Peter Arthur, the empiricism man. So you heard him talk about respect to time. He told you again that anytime you are bailed out, you stop your debate or your presentation. If not, marks will be deducted. So to my right is the accurate timekeeper, as the debaters, call him. His name is Mr. Emmanuel Koji. Now, when you're halfway through your presentation, whether you are the principal or the supporting speaker or you're doing your summaries, when you're halfway through your presentation, Emmanuel will alert you by doing this. And then when your time is up, where you need to stop the debating and the presentation, this is what you will hear. Thank you very much. I think he deserves a round of applause, don't you think so? Thank you. All right, so like we all know, we're live on television on Joy Prime and Joy Learning. We also know that we're live on Facebook on Love 99.5, equally live on radio on Love 99.5. The motion for Contest 2 in the quarterfinal stage of the Love FM High Schools debate is: the creation of a single currency is the only way to Africa's economic development. Osei Adutwum Senior High School are for the motion, and Prempeh College are against the motion. OSAS. OSAS. Great OSAS. Please stand. And you're looking very beautiful in your school attire. I'm impressed with your numbers in the auditorium. Fortunately, you have a blend of both male and female, so it means that we're going to have a very beautiful singing from you as you're about to sing for us your school anthem. You know the drill already. You sing as I count you down, and also you follow the lead of Uncle Collins as he will play for you your school anthem. All you need to do is to sing along. Are you ready? No. Are you ready? Are you sure you're ready? Then let's do it together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Round of applause for yourselves. And if you're wondering what school it is Osei Adutwum Senior High School. At this point in time, please let's welcome your debaters. Joycelyn Ajubi Owusu is the principal speaker, supported by Sophia Boache Yadom. Well, I've heard something new today. Honorable Sophia, Honorable Ajubi. Hey, I see. For the very last time before they grab the microphone and start the debate, welcome them one more time with a round of applause. Thank you. A man for. A man for. A man for. Please stand. And like I always say, you know the drill already. You're standing because you're also about to sing for us your school anthem. After singing for us your school anthem, we get to usher your debaters in to come take the seats, and then the competition will begin. Are you ready? Are you ready? Prempeh College, are you ready? Let's do this on 3. 1, 2, 3. And indeed, you raise your voices high. As to whether your debaters will raise their voices high, we will get to find out in a bit. Show some love to your debaters, the principal and the supporting speaker. Kwame Ohene Echampong and Godfred Adongo. Where are they? Prempeh College, make some noise. Make some noise. Welcome them. All right, so there they are. Okay, welcome, gentlemen. And like I said, Osei Adutwum, they are for the motion. Prempeh College are against the motion, and the motion is the creation of a single currency is the only way to Africa's economic development. Madam Chairperson, with your permission, can we start the debate? She's giving the thumbs up. Accurate timekeeper, are you ready? He says he is. Panel of judges, are you ready? They say they are. Debaters, good afternoon to you. Trust that you're well. Are you ready to start the debate? Well, they've also nodded in affirmation to that. So let's welcome the principal speaker from Osei Adutwum Senior High School, Joycelyn Ajubi Owusu.
A continent divided with currency is a continent divided in purpose. Africa, though rich in resources, remain poor in progress. This is not because we lack the potential, but because we lack unity in economic direction. With over 40 currencies, intra-African trade suffers. Investors shy away from complexity. But imagine an Africa where Ghana trades with Nigeria smoothly as Germany trades with France. A continent where economic borders are erased, business thrive, and development becomes collective. True economic empowerment and development demands unity, and that unity begins with one currency, one vision, and one purpose. The chair, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, and fellow students, and all protocols duly observed. Good day. Representing the land of the elites, Osei Adutwum Senior High School, I am Joycelyn Ejubi Owosu, the principal speaker in full agreement with the motion, quotes and unquotes. The creation of a single currency is the only way to Africa's economic development. The chair, before we tackle this motion, let's interpret some certain key terms in the motion to ensure a common understanding. Creation, according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, is defined as an act of producing, inventing, or making. From Cambridge Dictionary, single currency refers to a unit of money that is used by more than one country. The chair, from the same dictionary, economic development refers to the process in which the economy of a country grows, especially and become advanced, especially when the social and economic conditions of these countries are improved. Only way as used in this context refers to the sole or exclusive means to achieve something with no other viable alternative. The chair, to proceed with all arguments, our premier point in proposition to the motion is promotion of intra-African trade. If Africa truly seeks economic development, then the first step is to unlock trade, not with the outside world, but with itself. But here lies the tragedy. According to United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, intra-African trade stands at just 14.4% as compared to 59% in Asia and 60% in Europe. The chair, this isn't just numbers, it is a huge alarm bell. Why is trade in Africa so low? It is because of the multiple currencies we have here. Each time a trader from Ghana wants to do business with somebody from Kenya or Nigeria, we have to convert the Ghana cedi to naira or shilling. This comes at exchange rates and other bank charges. This discourages intra-African trade in Africa because the cost of doing business is high and the profit marginalization is low. But if a single currency is introduced, it will eliminate all these barriers, that is, remove the need for currency exchange and also remove all the fluctuations and uncertainties that comes with exchanging currency. The chair, it will promote intra-African trade in this our continent, strengthens local industries and promotes regional chain value, where raw materials from a country are processed in the other and finished in the third. The chair, I know my opponents will come here and argue that a single currency does not promote trade, but rather what promotes trade is investment and growth. But I tell them, Amanfo, if you say that your arguments will be flawed. Why? Because road carry goods, but currency carries the value of the goods. What good is a faster road if the cost of exchanging currency still kills the profits? Moving on to my second point, the chair, attraction of foreign investment. One of the key pillars to economic development is foreign direct investment. It brings technology, job, industries, and capital into a country. However, Africa continues to lag behind other continents in attracting sustainable investment. This is caused by the currency risk created by having over 40 different and unstable currencies. When a foreign investor wants to invest in Ghana, they face various uncertainties such as repatriation challenges, costs involved in exchanging currencies, and the high rise of doing business. But if a single currency is introduced, it will eliminate all these barriers. After the introduction of the euro, countries in the Eurozone saw a 25 to 30% increase in their foreign direct investment. This happened because the introduction of the euro removed any currency risks and made investment decisions simpler. The chair, I know that my opponents will come here and argue that there is no way a single currency attracts investments. What attracts investors to invest in the market is good governance and political stability. But I tell them, according to World Bank, currency risk ranks amongst the top 3 factors investors consider before entering into a developing market. So with this, they cannot tell me that a single currency does not attract investments into Africa. Moving on to my third point, the chair, it enhances economic integration and unity. If Africa wants to rise economically, then it has to come together as one. A single currency is a powerful tool that can make this happen. As it stands, economic integration in Africa is very weak. According to Africa Developmental Bank, intra-trade Africa or trade in Africa stands about just 15%, and this is largely driven by poor financial coordination and monetary system fragmentation. But when a single currency is introduced, it forces countries to harmonize monetary policies and align inflation. This cooperation builds trust, yields results, not just creating financial, but economic and continental unity. Moving on to my fourth point, the chair, it increases Africa's global bargaining power. One of the most overlooked barriers to Africa's development is the lack of influence in global trade and financial negotiation. Africa, though rich in resources and human capital, still are not treated as small and little economies. And this does not help our bargaining power at the global level. Why? Because each African country in this continent negotiates from a position of monetary and market fragmentation. This makes the currency in Africa seem unpredictable and financially risky. It becomes financially risky. Right now, let's imagine an Africa where every country speaks with one monetary voice. It will be easy for investment. Moving on to my fourth point, I have addressed that it increased Africa's global bargaining power. Now, I want you to take you to somewhere. The currency colonial system in this continent is creating a problem. One of the most entrenched obstacles to Africa's economic development is the continued dominance of colonial era currency system. The House, do you know that as we speak, 14 countries in our continent still use the SEFA system? Oh yes, they do. A system or a currency that was created in 1945, pegged in Europe, guaranteed and controlled by the French regime. This is how the SEFA system works. A continent or countries involved in this will be asked to deposit 50% of their foreign reserve to the French Central. This is changing us. It is not just a historical issue. No, it is a current economic change. According to Africa Monetary Cooperation Program and a research done by African Union in 2022, dismantling this colonial currency independence will unleash the country's true potential. That is, it will give us economic development and national integration. It will a single currency, when introduced, will get African countries to operate under a system or a currency that is created, designed by Africans, for Africans, controlled and managed by African institutions, whether the African country is a francophone, lusophone, or anglophone. The House, I know Amanfo will come here and argue that single currency isn't the only way to economic development. But I want to ask them something. For how long will we continue to patch cracks when we can rebuild the foundation of our continent? I know the Euro faced challenges and programs, but with determination, discipline, and perseverance, Europe achieved it. We are not saying the single currency should be implemented one time, one day in Africa. It should take time. After all, Rome wasn't built in a day. Neither will Africa's economic revolution be, but it must begin. We have fought fiercely for our political independence. It is now time to fight for our economic freedom and independence. As Chinua Achebe said, quote and unquote, until the chair I bow.
Osei Adutwum Senior High School, I respect you. But today you will know that God is Prempeh College. Ladies and gentlemen, I prophesy in 2025 that Africa is going reaching globally. Now I say this not because I am the Elijah of our time, but because Chatham House says so. But the IMF is no prophet of doom to establish that the continent currently faces intense internal weaknesses, crippling economic conditions, even down to climatic conditions. And so for one to stand in the soundness of mind and assert that the creation of a single currency is the only way to Africa's economic development is not just simple, it is dangerous. Ladies and gentlemen, to you the wise, bold and impartial panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, all other protocols duly observed. A very good afternoon to you all. Representing Prempeh College, I am Kwame Ohene Echampong, a passionate principal speaker, speaking in full opposition of the resolution before the House today, which I quote, the creation of a single currency is the only way to Africa's economic development. Now note, it did not say one of the ways. It did not say the best way. It said the only way to Africa's economic development. The use of the word only negates every other possibility, such that no other possibility can stand in the way of the creation of this single currency. And to assert this is to simply be Alice in Wonderland. The chair of the House, for the purpose of a clearer argument, we have divided our presentation into two. I will take a look at the drawbacks associated with creating a single currency, which makes it not the only way to Africa's economic development. Meanwhile, my subordinate speaker will look at other economic interventions necessary for the creation of the single currency. Now, ladies and gentlemen, allow me, as Katie demands, to elucidate the key terms within the motion for the better understanding of all and sundry. Creation, according to the Longman Dictionary, refers to bring something into existence. A single currency refers to a unit of money used by multiple countries. Ladies and gentlemen, Wikipedia.com describes economic advantages, rather economic development, as the step-by-step process by which the economy of a nation is taken to greater heights. So, ladies and gentlemen, all in all, the message this motion seeks to posit is that of all economic interventions, the creation of a single currency is the only way to Africa's economic development. And I and my subordinate reject this. From Cairo to Cape Town, we admit that the creation of a single currency will help alleviate currency exchange complexities as well as lead to an economic integration. It is this single point that my opponent mounted this podium and spent 10 minutes reordering into 5 different points, which are all the advantages of creating a single currency, and in no way on the principles of rhetorics describe why or how that is the only means to Africa's economic development. This into concern the chair of the House, our premier point in support of our stance is one: Africa is a continent with diverse economic realities, making the creation of a single currency an impracticable macroeconomic policy. Ladies and gentlemen, according to statistics from Statista.com, we realized that countries in Africa have a huge amount of gross domestic product. Yes, in fact, Seychelles has a GDP per capita income of $21,063, the highest in the African continent. Ghana stands at 18th with a fair $2,052. Now, pay attention. This is no slap in the face, because Seychelles, with their buoyant tourism industry, has a different economic trajectory from that of Ghana, which focuses heavily on mining, as indicated by the World Atlas on August 2025. And so for one to stand and assert that the creation of a single currency is the only way to economic development is to limit the stronger countries like Seychelles, and at the same time exacerbate economic and financial instability in the weaker countries like Ghana. And I refuse to believe that this is why our opponents have called us here this afternoon. Which takes me to my second point, the chair, the House. We assert that the creation of a single currency will lead to unequal economic contributions and benefits. To put this into concept, Nigeria, with their GDP of $377.31 billion US, will have to carry the weight and the risk of Malawi, with their GDP of a meager $14.08 billion US. Now, the concept of this is like Washington, D.C. and Ablekuma. Again, our opponents mentioned the fact that the Eurozone was, this concept was actually implemented successfully in Europe in the Eurozone. Ladies and gentlemen, madam, gentlemen, this is an oversimplification and a biased misinterpretation of evidence. Statistics from TheGuardian.com on June 2021 indicated that Germany, the country with the strongest economy in the Eurozone, had to step in to bail out the weaker countries like Portugal and Greece during the 2008 to 2012 economic crisis. Now, this is the million-dollar question. Is Egypt willing to sacrifice for Guinea? Is Kenya willing to come through for South Sudan? Ladies and gentlemen, may it never be so that we will make a mockery of ourselves. To our third point, the chair, the House, we posit that the creation of a single currency will lead to unequal and unfairness in the loss of the African currencies. What I mean by this is that it will lead to loss of African sovereignty amongst the monetary countries. To put this into concept, pay attention. When a country joins a monetary union, it forfeits its right and control over its own finances to the central bank, such that it has no say over the inflation rate and interest rates associated with its own finances. I know some of you are right. You're asking yourselves, okay, so if this is so, what happens to the weaker countries in terms of a debt crisis or local recession? Isn't it obvious? They suffer and cannot even call the names of their God in their own languages because another body is holding their financial tongue. The World Bank reported in August 2020 that African countries, Ghana and Kenya, actually pumped huge sums of money into their economies just to stay afloat during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, I'd like to pose this question to my opponent. If there was a single currency then, how long would it have taken for the central bank to make adjustments for the smaller communities? 2 days? 2 weeks? 2 years? How do we know? But okay, we will sit down, fold our arms, and like the second coming of Christ, wait upon a single currency to come and take us from grace to grace, as my opponents are suggesting. Let's get real. To our 4 point, the chair, the House, we posit that Africa's inadequacy as far as strong regional institutions are concerned has led to the inability of the single currency to be the only means to Africa's economic development. Need I mention how weak Africa's regional institutions are? Okay, we turn an exhibit stating that the ECOWAS, after 2 decades of back-to-back postponement, has not been able to get its member countries to adopt the use of the ECO. Now, I know my opponents are ready to rebut, saying that the fact that the ECO has not been implemented does not mean a single currency for Africa will not succeed. But ladies and gentlemen, the Yoruba man will agree with me when he says that a tree does not grow to its full height overnight. We are in June 2025, and there is still no sign of the ECO they talk of. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about time we understood that a single currency, yes, may help, but it's not the only means to Africa's economic development. Finally, the chair, the House, we posit that language and logistics will act as a barrier to the development of the single currency, leading to its inability to be the only means to Africa's economic development. A UNICEF report, or rather the UNESCO report, supported our claim stating that in multilingual communities, policy implementation is difficult as a result of the language gap that exists between the minorities. And in fact, the World Health Organization, in association with Boston University, reported that there currently exist over 3,000 languages on the African continent. And so that my opponent, I am sure that they will amount this podium and I said that very soon a new African language will be created to suit the single currency. Such a cock and bull story. Again, the chair, the House. During my opponent's presentation, I realized that they presented their facts in disjointed sentences, in disjointed phrases, rather than in complete sentences, yet expecting this intellectual panel of judges to make sense of their scripts. Ladies and gentlemen, our sentences must be presented fully and not in phrases in order to score marks for the organization. So my opponents, please check that. Again, my opponent said that the single currency will improve intra-African trade. That is an oversimplification. According to the African Development Bank, trade barriers are primarily caused by poor infrastructure, inconsistent regulations, and corruption, not currency. Thank you.
Majority of developing countries are easily influenced to monetary shocks brought on by global policy change in the current international monetary environment, which is primarily defined by the lack of universally recognized standards of good monetary conduct. In such a scenario, only the creation of a single currency will give African nations the chance to mount a united and effective front against these disruptions. This is especially true given that each nation will be able to have a single currency whose value in relation to the currency will better support its goals for economic growth and job creation. According to Professor Douglas, he said, and I quote and unquote, a united Africa is not just an ambitious dream. It is a seed when planted with wisdom, watered with cooperation, and nurtured with patience will grow into a mighty tree of economic strength. A river that does not flow into a stream, a river that does not flow into an ocean remains a stream. And if Africa wants to stand tall, it must flow as one, not as divided tributaries. The chair panel of judges are our great timekeeper, co-debaters, fellow students, all protocols duly observed. Ladies and gentlemen, I greet you all. I go by the name Osei Adutwum Sophia, a proud student of a noble institution, Osei Adutwum Senior High School, with our beautiful slogan, which echoes our presence wherever we go as NMD4. I am proud to be given the opportunity as the supporting speaker, speaking firmly for the motion before the House, quote and unquote. The creation of a single currency is the only way to Africa's economic development. The chair, my principal speaker, has already done us the honor by elaborating on the key terms in the motion. So therefore, my job here is simply to add more strong and confidential points to what my principal speaker has already said. The chair, let's have a meaningful conversation. Point 6, a single African currency would also serve as a powerful symbol for regional and continental unity that will fuel economic development of Africa. The AU's vision for a united Africa is not just about economic integration, but also fostering a sense of shared identity and purpose among the continent's diverse nations. The chair, the House, the process of managing the single currency would require close collaboration among African governments, leading to the development of stronger institutions and effective government structures. This increased cooperation could extend integration in our areas such as trade, infrastructure, and social policy. Point 7, the chair, a single currency contributes to a greater cultural and social integration across Africa. Now, among 4, the House, let's set the record straight. By making it easier for people to travel and do businesses across borders, a single currency would help break barriers that currently divide African nations. It would increase mobility and interaction, which could help foster greater sense of Pan-African identity, encouraging citizens to see themselves not just as members of individual nations, but as part of a broader African community. Now, let's get practical. A Ghanaian and a Kenyan or a Senegalese would have the same identity and create a platform for economic interaction. Example, buying and selling. This gives an opportunity to learn each other's language, which makes it easier for business transaction using the single currency. Yes, we can, though difficult, but we can. The chair, these are suggested alternatives to achieving a single currency in Africa to promote economic growth. The chair, the mountain of having a single currency to push for Africa's economic development is high, but quote unquote climbable. Just like our forefathers struggled for political independence, participating countries have to sacrifice and converge their various national economic indicators within specific parameters such as inflation and public debt to the GDP ratios to push for a single currency that will push Africa's economic development. Again, governments have to give up control of their existing development. Again, governments have to give up control of their existing currencies and monetary policies, even where the economic benefits have been demonstrated. Secondly, the AU's new Partnership for African Development, that is the NIPAD, a parallel initiative to the Monetary Union project, recognizes that peer pressure within Africa can help in the meeting of NIPAD's aim of improved economic growth, governance, and policies, while it holds the potential to tackle the most important cause of failings of African policy making. Better governance and domestic policies would in turn facilitate regional economic integration and, most importantly, the creation of a single currency. The chair, the House. Something happened on 25th May 1963, when 32 leaders of African states gathered in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. He exalted the leaders of the day. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was right when he said, "Let us not live here without a single current bank." And again, quote unquote, he said, "Let us not live here without a single currency." The chair, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was a prophet when he prophesied that Africa's development will depend on a single currency. The chair, the House, among four, you can all attest to the fact that since 1963, Africa is still struggling because they did not listen to what the prophets of the old times were saying. The path to Africa's prosperity is not through begging for aid nor relying on fragmented foreign influence economies. It is through unity and economic integration. The chair, the House, only a single currency can bind us together. Only a single currency can help integrate our economies. Hence, the chair, single currency is the only way to Africa's economic development. This is not just an option, it is the only way forward. The chair, permit me to clear some assertions made by my opponents. The chair, my opponents made mention of development of infrastructure as one of the ways to Africa's economic development. But let me educate you on this amount for that the single currency is the only heart and engine that drives economic development. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, in my opponent's many flawed arguments, they alluded that the creation of a single currency would reduce transaction costs and make cross-border trade easier among African countries. Let's clap for it, because apparently, when we start converting every cedi to naira, every shilling to rand, the African trade will suddenly flourish like a magic farm for them to harvest from. Get serious with us. The ever-wise chairperson panel of judges represented Prempeh College. I am Godfred Adungu, a bold and eloquent supporting speaker in opposition of the motion before the House today. Now I quote, "The creation of a single currency is the only way to Africa's economic development," unquote. The chair, my partner has already shown that Africa's economy is too different, its policies too unstable, and its systems too fragile to be welded together by a single currency. Now, per my role as a supporting speaker, I'll therefore take you deeper, not just into the facts, but into the hearts of what the people really want apart from a unified currency. In light of this, point 6, we debate that Africa needs to invest in infrastructure and also intra-African trade instead of the creation of a single currency. The chair, Africa's problem is not just about money, it's about movement. Goods cannot move when trucks are being stuck on mud roads. Farmers cannot go to their marketplaces when their only roads are sports and there's no storage. The chair, the House, you don't need a single currency to boost development. What do you need? You need working roads, reliable electricity, faster networks, and many more. Let's share the house. According to a 2020 African Economic Outlook, poor infrastructure cuts African economic productivity by at least 40% every year. How? Now the house, let's pay attention. Imagine a tomato farmer in Kenya who harvests 20 baskets of tomatoes, but the road to her only market export, and also the only bridge broken. Now, by the time she finds a different route, half her tomatoes are rotten. That's 10 baskets of what? Lost income. That's not only the case. We can talk about that excited shoemaker in Nigeria who gets an order in Ghana but faces border delays and also bribe demands. And the list goes on and on and on and on. Now, imagine this happening in the entire Africa. That's how we lose 40% of our entire productivity every year. But no, let's listen to this self-acclaimed pieces of good news with their almighty savior, single currency to show us the way. Enemies of progress. And Nkrumah should be so proud of you. So our seventh point in the chair, we could debate that Africa should consider strengthening trade agreements like the African Trade for Free Area instead of the creation of a single currency. Lovely audience on multimedia. Would you believe that Africa already has the tools to economic unity? Oh yes, this is not a single currency as they are preaching. The chair, we just have been connecting over 50 countries. The chair, it aims to remove tariffs, number one. Number two, open borders for goods and services. And number three, support business growth. Now, according to the World Bank, or should I say, the World Bank in 2023 reported that full implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area would lift out of 30 million Africans from abject poverty and also improve or boost our intra-African trade by 8% and also increase 7% in the year 2035. Isn't that interesting? But no, if your solution to a leaky roof is to a shiny new currency, sounds like development for you. But for us, we will focus on fixing the leaks first. So I move to my final point. Point A, the chair, we contend that Africa needs to improve upon its governance and reduce corruption instead of the creation of a single currency. Corruption is everywhere, we agree. But when we get to the bottom three, or the bottom third of the corruption perception, can never be built the character of its leaders in trade. Let's clap for that logic because it's a wrong logical reasoning. But let's clap for that logic because after all, bad roads, corrupt border officials, and also endless paperwork will all pack their tents and seize the country the moment we start using the same currency. Newsflash, we can't trade what we can't transport. Let's keep that in mind. My opponents also asserted that the creation of preaching unity through coins. If unity came from using the same currency, then all the several countries would have been economic heavens by now. But are they? Let's not confuse uniformity with unity. My opponent also alluded that the creation of a single currency would have bring about or strengthen Africa's bargaining power. Bargaining power care. So now it's a wrestling match. Let's share the house, my friends. The global stage is not characterized or moved by the sweetness of your currency. It is moved by your productivity, innovation, and governance. My opponent also asserted that the Europe did it to the euro, so Africa can do it too. Oh, you what? Copy and paste development. Let's share the house. This is what we call wishful thinking. Europe had strong institutions, similar economies, and also centuries of diplomatic progress. We have 54 countries still arguing on import duties and who has the best jollof. And we think you will succeed if you copy. Let's share. If you copy, you will certainly collapse. Now the house, before I leave, let's get this thing straight. The motion, okay, let me take my time first. Yes. My opponent deviated from the motion by debating on the importance of creating a single currency. That's why we may agree that creating a single currency will do a long way by letting us develop economically. But the motion before the House today is the creation of a single currency is the only way to Africa's economic development. So the proposition responsibility today is to show to the whole House with empirical facts and evidence why the creation of a single currency is the one and only way to Africa's economic development and why the other factors are useless and baseless. But in the absence of that, they've lost their credibility in today's contest. Panel, indeed, he who asserts must prove. I asserted and I've proven it. This is the name, Osei Adutwum, the supporting speaker for Prempeh College. I rest my case.
Mr. Godfrey, the word is not pronounced as currency. It is pronounced as currency. And so you are Hineba. This location is not a preaching contest. That's I have mounted this podium once again, not to overwhelm you with words, never, but to produce or provide you with facts and to summarize the point points raised by my supporting speaker and myself. Point 1, we argue that the creation of a single currency is essential or is the only way to Africa's economic development because 1, it promotes intra-African trade. 2, attraction of foreign investment. 3, enhances economic integration and unity. 4, it increases Africa's global bargaining power. 5, it addresses the currency colonial legacy. 6, a single African currency would also serve as a powerful symbol of regional and continental unity. 7, it contributes to greater cultural and social integration across Africa. Lastly, the chair, we argue that suggested roadmap to achieving a single currency in Africa. The chair, when Amanfo was speaking, the principal speaker talked about the fact that we talked about only the advantages of creating or generating a single currency. But I put it to them, you also came here to debate about the disadvantages of single economy. We are single currency. We are on the same page, so don't condemn the other when you are doing the same. The chair, they said, or my opponents asserted that some countries have developed and some have not. Hence, we cannot put us on the same page. But I tell them, how can one climb and the others crawl, and we are calling that development? That is typical division. When you rise, you must help your opponents rise too. So the fact that one have risen doesn't mean the 54 broken system have been solved. The chair, they also talked about the fact that since we are proposing a single currency, in no time we will produce or provide African country language. That is a common language for Africa. If they succeed and if there is a need for a single African language for a whole Africa, we will suggest that because it will bring development. The chair, they also asserted that the economy, my opponent said, Africa's problem is not about money. Really? Why are we all here? The infrastructures that are built, they are constructing in your school. What did we use to build? Stones? We didn't use stone, we use money. Money is needed for everything. When you go to the market, you need money. When you are going to school, your mother gives you money. So why would you argue that Africans' problem is not money? If it's not money, then there is no way teachers, nurses, and doctors will be calling upon the government to give them better conditions for their services. They also spoke about the fact that they said that, my opponent said, saying that the currency is the only way to, my opponent said, we're saying that single currency is the only way to Africa's economic development. It's oversimplistic. What do you mean? That is why we have panel of judges here. They are going to judge based on credibility. You from Amanfo or Prempeh College, you are our co-contestant. You have no right, you have no right to determine who wins this competition or not. Wait for the judgment of my lovely panel. These are the reasons why we are arguing that indeed a single currency is the only and the sole way to Africa's economic development. We are not here arguing about anything. All these factors that Amanfo came here to mention are just one. It bounds to one thing, that is single currency. The infrastructure, the bad roads. It seems when we were doing our presentation, they didn't listen. Because they came here to attack us on something that we have already addressed in my presentation. Next time, when your opponent is speaking, do well to listen to them. That share the house. I therefore call on and send you to rise with me as we firmly, courageously step into the future by creating a single currency to ensure Africans' economic development. The chair, the house, I bow.
The stunning chairperson, bold and impartial panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, all that protocols duly observed. I am here once again to elucidate the key terms I and my subordinate speaker tendered in opposition of the motion before the House today, which I quote, the creation of a single currency is the only way to Africa's economic development. And so allow me to reiterate for completeness. First, we stated that Africa is a continent with diverse economic realities, making making the creation of a single currency an impractical macroeconomic policy. We further asserted in our second point that the creation of a single currency will lead to unequal climatic and economic benefits and contributions. We then asserted in our third point that the creation of a single currency will lead to unequal and unfair loss of the monetary sovereignty of the African countries. We further said in our fourth point that the creation of a single currency will be inhibited by the lack of strong regional institutions on the African continent, leading to its inability to be the only means by which Africa can develop economically. To our fifth point, we asserted that language and logistics will act as a barrier to the development of the single currency, leading to its inability to be the only means to Africa's economic development. We further asserted in our sixth point that Africa needs to invest in infrastructure and intra-African trade instead of the creation of a single currency. 7, Africa should consider strengthening trade agreements instead of the creation of a single currency. And finally, the chair of the House, we said that Africa should improve upon governance and reduce corruption instead of the creation of a single currency. The chair of the House, my opponent mounted this podium and made reference to my preaching style, stating that this is not a preaching contest. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the ad hominem logical fallacy, where you make the basis of your argument on the person saying it rather than the logic behind their words. And so they felt that they had lost and decided to resort to personal attacks. Again, the opponents mentioned the name of my subordinate speaker. This is a professional discourse, not a friendly picnic. You do not stand there and mention the name of my opponent. When referring to us, you refer to us as my opponent or my friend on the other side. Ladies and gentlemen, my opponent said that a single currency will improve intra-African trade. This is an oversimplification. According to African Development Bank, trade barriers are primarily caused by poor infrastructure, inconsistent regulations, and corruption, and not by currency differences. They again said that it will increase investors' confidence in the African continent. That is a hasty conclusion. Foreign investors don't look at currency, they look at political risks, ease of doing business, and legal protection. It will shock you to know that many African countries rank low in investment appeal due to so many non-currency factors. Investors do not care what the money is called, they care if you will run away with their money. And so where lies the basis of your argument? And she also mentioned that it is actually the invention of a single currency is one of the top 3 factors investors look out for in their presentation. Do you remember? She said the top 3, indicating that it's not the only factor they look out for, and with that she has negated the entire argument. Ladies and gentlemen, they argue that Africa will be stronger on the global stage. That is just the poverty of aspect. Strength comes from productivity and innovation, not just a unified currency. A new currency will not fix energy shortages, internal outages, or logistics nightmares. Africa does not need to look strong. We will not be strong. Putting a Gucci belt on a leaking bucket will not make it hold water. It's about time you open your eyes to the reality of the world we live in. They claim that with a single currency, we will all grow together. This is an appeal to emotion. You can't link Ghana and Zimbabwe and expect balance. One is crawling, the other is limping, and you expect that balance to be created by the creation of a single currency. This is a false dilemma. This is not good. This is codependent chaos. The chair, they said that Africa has enough resources to support one currency. This is absolutism. Having gold does not mean we know how to manage it. Ever seen a rich man go broke? Well, welcome to the African den of thieves. Even Daniel will die here. The chair, they said it will help reduce external influence. This is an oversimplification. They mentioned that it will reduce the influence of our colonial masters. Again, it's an oversimplification. We are already flirting with IMF, China, and every donor, every organization that is willing to give me us money. And we are here stating that a currency switch will be able to stop that. That is absolute nonsense. And it will give us any way to earn money. Again, they claim that we will finally have respect on the national stage. This is an appeal to validation. Respect isn't earned by minting new notes. If it was me, my coins in Subway surface should have made me president by now. If money gives us respect. They said we will finally have economic independence. Thank you, the chair.
All right. All right. All right. So I have heard you. Madam Chairperson. Madam Chairperson, panel of judges. For me, we want extra time. We want extra time. Do you support that? We want extra time. You want extra time? I hear you. Put your hands together for the debaters for me. And it's been fierce, and indeed it has lived up to expectation. Now, if you're wondering how come they are throwing shades and doing what they're doing, do you know what is at stake? A berth at the semi-finals. Now, when you get to the semi-finals, it means you become a seeded school for the 2026 edition. That is why it's been that fierce. I'm not disappointed. I'm really excited. And I think I would ask you one more time to put your hands together for these young, amazing debaters. Osas. Osas. Great Osas. Amanfo. 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 Joycelyn and Sophia, come back. Joycelyn and Sophia, come back. Don't leave us yet. Come back. I don't know where you're running to. Don't run away. Don't leave us yet. So you stand to my right. Put your stuff down and stand to my right. Adongo and Kwame, join me as well. I want you people to do this for me. I want a Pentecost hug. Don't go beyond a Pentecost hug. Hug each other for a very beautiful contest. Give each other a hug. Oh, give her a hug. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. Beautiful. You've done so well. Trust me, you've done your school proud. I wish that I can ask the two of you to advance to the next stage of the competition, but I don't have that power. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pray and ask God to make the best school win. By the way, which one is the best school? I didn't hear you. Hold on. I didn't hear you. Which is the best school? Time will tell. At this point in time, let's welcome a very special person from Trillium Industries to engage all of us. Show him some love. Put your hands together for them. They are from the H&H, Gary Stokins 4-in-1 and all that. And I'm sure that they themselves have enjoyed themselves this afternoon. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's a joy seeing young people debating on development of Ghana and Africa as a whole. And I think that it is always enjoyable seeing people, young people, having such ideas. And I pray that we will use these ideas, not just debate with it, but use it to enhance the development of Ghana and Africa as a whole. Thank you. I'm from Trillium Industrial Company Limited, producers of Verna, mineral water, and H&H Gary soaking mix. We are here to give support to all the schools and to this program, and we've been supporting the program for a couple of years. You can see that there is convenience in what we produce and give to Ghana. In the olden days, you need to go and buy your gari, search for sugar, your nuts, and some milk, and add. Now we are bringing cultural convenience. So you have our H&H gari, 4-in-1. We have the choco, and we have also the soya, which is ready-made. And you can take it now and eat once you want it. We've created a place at the back there, a stand. You can come there and enjoy yourself. It is for free, and we want you to know that these are all made in Ghana goods. We are not importing anything that we are using in the production of our H&H Gari. It's proudly made in Ghana. And because of all these things, even the Lebanese owners, they are now Ghanaians, all of them, because they've accepted and they've come to realize that Ghana is a thriving economy, and they are investing into it and supporting Ghanaians. If you see me here, I'm being supported by the company in many ways. So I come out and also help in supporting the schools. So every school, you'll be seeing us around. All schools are having their anniversaries and other things. They invite us, and we supply them with, we sponsor them with drinks and with other products. Thank you very much for your attention. God bless you.
Thank you very much, William.
Well, so Patricia, if I should ask you,
Yes, David.
okay, so Mama says he's going to invite you.
Definitely.
If I should ask you to describe today's contest in one word, what will it be?
David, I don't know. I think every school today have given of their best. Congratulations to yourself. And for the social media comments, dear. How many of us have seen it anyway? You are still reading it, eh?
Patricia, you haven't answered my question.
Oh, David.
I'm asking you to describe today's contest in one word.
Oh, I'll say it's been fire.
Fire.
That is how I want to describe
Becca,
today's competition.
how did you describe today's contest?
Hot.
Hot. Listen, to all the students here, to all the schools, and of course the students watching us at home in schools, there's a very amazing man in Kumasi. He's the owner of Ultimate Fashions. You'll be hearing about him shortly. If you want the finest of, Shada clothing, go to Ultimate Fashions in Edum. So he sent me a message this dawn at 2 a.m.
Okay.
And the message reads, "My brother, I am planning to adopt some secondary school dormitories of the finals year students." That's the ones who will be going to the finals.
Okay.
And when Mr. Ado says he's going to do this, the package is huge. So when you come among the podium, you don't just talk and impress us. You're impressing people who are listening and watching you out there as well. So for me, I really enjoyed my afternoon with you this afternoon, and I pray that the best school will win.
Sure.
With that out of the way, Becca, take it away.
All right, David, thank you so much. Now you get to elevate your taste of your favorite wache, banku, kenke, rice, yam, or plantain with womame shito. It's prepared hygienically with wholesome natural ingredients. It's available in both mild and hot flavors. Womame shito is conveniently packaged in small and large sachets and perfect for everyone and every event. Whether we lose today or win today, womame shito is the best, and it's also available in all supermarkets nationwide. Womame shito. Wundi Kra Ubedi.
We are taking a trip to Shire Hills, where we'll find Palm University College, the school is admitting prospective students for its BSc and MSc options in Business Information Technology, Business Administration, Computer Science, Information Technology Management, Health Services Management, and Leadership programs. Now, Palm University College have an experienced faculty, a stimulating environment, and the best part, their fees are also subsidized so that everybody can attend that school. You can also undertake a one-semester exchange with Oklahoma State University in the United States of America. Log on to www.palm.edu.gh or locate our campus at Manya Jokpanya, Shire Hills in the Greater Accra region. Palm University, we say become a Palmer and succeed.
Give your eyes the best care possible with Robert & Sons Limited Optical Services today. With over 34 years experience, they render specialist eye services, pediatric eye care, visual field testing, optical coherence, tomography scans, and corporate eye care. Choose from our wide range or selection of 100% original frames and contact lenses. Visit Robert & Sons Limited Optical Services today at Ahojo right here in Kumasi. Robert & Sons Limited Optical Services, seeing is believing.
We say thank you to Zwan, and we've introduced our Zwan luncheon meat, our cocktail sausages, and also our hot dogs. It is your secret to delicious, yummy, and energetic meals. It is perfect for spaghetti, noodles, salad, jollof, yes, sandwich, burgers, and so much more. Zwan offers both taste and nutrition, and so when you go to the market, choose from our chicken, beef, turkey, hot and spicy flavors. Now, if you go to KJTR Dubai, you find Zwan in every supermarket there. Same as when you go to Dr. Mensah and every major supermarket in Ghana, you find Zwan. Grab one today and have its wonderful taste.
We'd also like to say a big thank you to Mezoya from Premium Foods, which is a delicious and energizing cereal designed to make your breakfast better. This balanced meal combines corn, soya, milk, and essential nutrients, making it perfect for the entire family. It's also incredibly easy to prepare. Simply add or mix with cold or warm water and enjoy. Grab Mezoya Plus or Mezoya Super at the nearest supermarket. Mezoya, it's the perfect choice for a healthy, happy family.
Ochasekan Royal Bank is also making sure you get your current savings, fixed deposit, Susu, and infant savings account. We also give the fastest track loans with the lowest interest rate on the market. Receive all your electronic transfers from any of our branches located at Kofiase, Asante Mampon, Ejira, Sipebo Krom, Abofo, Macro, Swami Market, and King Kensel, and also Dr. Mensah. Ochasekan Royal Bank, we are your savior in rural banking.
Now, Gimpa Kumasi campus is accepting applications for its diploma, undergraduate, and postgraduate diploma programs. We have a one-year master's program in supply chain management, project management, accounting and taxation, etc. Gimpa offers a 4-month postgraduate diploma in occupational safety, health and environmental management. So you get to sign up for our weekends, evenings and regular lectures. Find our campus behind the Kumasi City Mall, Asqua, and visit www.gimpa.edu.gh on how to apply.
Let's make our way to Daxa Dental Clinic, where we can enjoy a 10% off a wide range of specialist dental services like extraction, cleaning, polishing, filling, braces, bad breath treatment, and also enjoy the use of ultra-modern digital x-rays for accurate diagnosis. Daxa Dental works from Mondays to Saturdays, and even on Sundays, they work from 12 noon to 4 p.m. Book an appointment today at any of our branches located at IPT, opposite the first gate of Amstead, Amekomria, inside the City Style building, and Ahonju opposite Latex Foam. Daxa Dental, we make you smile with confidence.
And lastly, from here, we say a big thank you to Ultimate Fashions / Chapel Hill Community, which is the newest gated community situated at Santase Enginem, right here in Kumasi. It features level-graded lands and limited plots of land that come with legal documents. We also help you with architects and artisans who will build according to your specification. You can locate Chapel Hill Community Agency near the A1 Hospital, Santase, and secure your home today. Chapel Hill Community, the place you deserve to live.
And before the comments, Obiniyem, hey, one coffee. Okay, I'll be telling you who will be going home, but hey, did I say that? Please, I don't have the person. It's David who will tell you, but I am happy to also share with you that Esilali is the official makeup artist for the Love FM High Schools debate. Please clap for Esilali. If you look at Mama Lou, Becca, and myself, are we not looking lovely? David will be wearing makeup tomorrow, but you can also sign up for her 2 weeks intensive or 3 months regular makeup class and become a professional. Book her also and look beautiful for all your occasions. Remember, she also sells beautiful ladies wear, quality designer shoes, bags, accessories, perfumes, body splashes, and more. Now she has introduced Salado GH, where you can enjoy her signature vegetable, chicken, potato, and pasta salad prepared fresh daily. Dial her number right now, 024 799 0760 and place all your event orders. The number again, please write it. You are not writing. Minus 50. 024 799 07.
That's right.
60. But you can actually also locate her at Amakom next to Wache Kumasi. Esilali Empire, we say your world of beauty and more. And so, are you ready for the comments?
Yes.
Salisu Sahida says,
okay,
the battle is the ground, heat, Osas. Emmanuel Siao says, all the best to Prempeh College. Pretty Akosia says, energy. Apia Daniel, Osas all the way. Let's go to this other comment. Samuel Owusu, a champion, gives a thumbs up for PC. I'm sure that's Prempeh College, right? Okay, so he also says Prempeh College. Pius Asante says, okay, can you read? Okay, let me skip to the other one. Tiobo says the girl is exquisite, a jubi to the whole Yase. And All right, so Becca, I think you can take it away with the comments that you have.
Okay, so I have Jamie Sambers here. He says PC all the way. 10 on top says Akete principal speaker Eya Botrankwa. Siao Emmanuel also says all the best to PC today. Ando Emirates says today Osas is winning. Apia Daniel says Osas all the way. Nana Kwame says you bring us a reason to believe we can agree to disagree as humans. Kudos to Love FM, and of course Patricia, you're looking good. Emmanuel Ajiman says.
Thank you. Please let me acknowledge the person. Please, thank you. Okay?
Nana Kwame, that was from Nana Kwame, yes. And the last message here is from Emmanuel Ajiman. He says, heat to Osas.
But Becca, are you aware that a very good debate can cure several diseases?
Of course.
Because
of course.
I was a bit under the weather. I've been having a bad headache. But sitting there watching the debaters do their thing,
heat's not count.
I forgot to have a headache. And now I'm fine.
That's the heat
so
they
thanks
bring.
to you for curing me of my headache.
Yeah.
You know.
Obiniyem. Prempeh Osas.
All right, so let's do this. Can I trust you, students? Can I trust you? You sure I can trust you? Those here haven't done this, but you've impressed us so much. We want to do this. We want to give you, each school, 2 minutes. Just give us some morale, some jama. Can you do that? 2 minutes. So work with me. Osas. 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 Your 2 minutes starts now. So give us some 2 minutes of morale, some 2 minutes of jama. Let's do this very quickly. Prempeh College, get ready. 2 minutes of jama. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Darling Jesus, oh my darling Jesus, you are wonderful, Lord. I love you so, my darling Jesus, oh my darling Jesus. Darling Jesus, oh my darling Jesus, you are wonderful, Lord. I love you so, darling Jesus, oh my darling Jesus. Metese, and don't be reborn. I will take for Nina. Sana so make a obey, make a home. Metesa, I don't be reborn. I will take for Nina. When I'm so. I'm out for Osasayabano. Osasayabano. I'm out for Osasayabano. Osasayabano.
Mera wo baba, and that's so in a rasa.
Osas, thank you very much, Osas. Thank you very much, Osas. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Osas. So I now know I can trust you. Thank you very much. You've won my trust. Amanfo. All right, so it's your turn. Take 2 minutes. Wow us with some morale. Your 2 minutes starts now.
Joy like a river, joy like a river in my soul. Joy, oh, joy like a river, joy like a river, joy like a river in my soul. Joy like a river, joy like a river, joy like a river in my soul. May say I have joy in my heart, deep down in my heart. I have joy in my heart. deep, deep down. Jesus, give it to me. Hey, and no one can destroy it. I have joy in my hand, deep, deep down. Papa na boni banawayo. Hey, Papa na boni banawayo. Hey, I tryna wait you. Hey, I tryna wait you. Hey, na kamera. Missy, oh.
All right, Amanfo. Thank you, Amanfo.
Give me.
Amanfo, thank you very much. It's been a very, very beautiful and an engaging afternoon. We've come to the end of contest 2. That is the second contest at the quarterfinal stage of the 2025 edition of the Love FM High Schools debate. As you're very much aware, the contest was between Osei Adutwum Senior High School and Prempeh College. The motion, the creation of a single currency, is the only way to Africa's economic development. Osei Adutwum were for the motion, Prempeh College were against the motion. Now, the results. Now, we've been telling you that we have what we call the unanimous decision or the majority decision. Unanimous meaning all 3 judges scored for the winning school. Majority decision means that 2 out of the 3 judges scored for the winning school. This afternoon's contest is being determined by a majority decision. By a majority decision, which means 2 judges scored for the winning school. Now to the scores. And I'll start with that of Osei Adutwum Senior High School. Organization and clarity. One of the judges scored for you 24. Another gave you 25. And because there are 3, the other gave you 26. So 24, 25, 26 amounts to 75. Argument and development, OSAS. A judge gave you 24. Another gave you 24. The last judge gave 23. 24, 24, 23 amounts to 71. Then effective use of rebuttal. A judge gave to you 9. The other gave 9. The last judge gave 12. 9 plus 9 plus 12 equals 30. When it comes to presentation style, a judge gave 8 to OSAS. The other gave 8.5 to OSAS. The other gave 8 to OSAS. So 8 plus 8.5 plus 8 tallies to 25. Role as a particular debater, you got 8 from one judge, 8.5 from another, and 7 from the final judge. So 8, 8.5, 7 amounts to 24. OSAS, let's put them together. 75, 71, 30, 25, 24 amounts to 224 for OSAS. Now the scores for Prempeh College. Organization and clarity, you got 22 from one judge. Another gave you 27. Another judge gave 28. 22, 27, 28 amounts to 77. Argument and development, Prempeh College, you got 22 from one of our judges. Another gave 25, and yet another gave 26. 22, 25, 26 amounts to 73. Effective use of rebuttal, Prempeh College, you got 11 from one judge. Another gave 16, and the other gave 15. 11, 16, 15 amounts to 42. Roll as presentation style, before we go to roll as a debater. Presentation style, you got 8 from one judge, 9.5 from another, and 8 from another. It amounts to 26. Then roll as a particular debater, Prempeh College, you got 8 from one judge, 9.5 from another, and 7 from the other. 8, 9.5 plus 7 amounts to 25. So 77, 73, 42, 26, 25 amounts to 242. So by majority decision, Prempeh College advances to the next stage of the competition. Now to Prempeh College, your next contest in the semifinals will be against KNUST Senior High. We wish you well. 2, OSAS, we say hard luck to you. You give a very good account of yourselves. I enjoyed your debate. And this is your very first time partaking in the Love FM High School's debate, and yet you've come this far. Congratulations to you. Hope to see you next year. To all our judges, to our chairperson, to our accurate timekeeper, to all of you watching us on television, on Facebook, and listen to us on radio, we salute you, and we say join us again same time tomorrow at 1 p.m. from the same venue, the Christian Service University, for another edition. But for now, Patricia, take it away.
Okay, thank you so much, David. And so we have come to the end of contest 2 of the quarterfinal stage of the Love FM High Schools debate, the 7th edition. And as we speak, we can tell you that Prempeh College have booked a seat at the semi-finals, and so it means they're also seated for next year's competition, and they have also booked a seat alongside KNUST Senior High School. Let's speak to, once again, like we always do, let's have our patrons come back to account for their stewardship. Yes, it is very, very important and necessary that we have the conversation once again. I'm just going to go to the school that was for the motion. Mrs. Kaidebi, congratulations.
Thank you so much, my sister. In fact, the whole world is watching us, and they know for a fact that OSAS, we came and we conquered. Whatever you saw there was a teamwork. Our girls were solid, and you all attest to the fact that, in fact, they matched Prempeh boot for boot. Great OSAS. Thanks to all the management team, all the teachers, the students, and the non-teaching staff. Kudos to our team. We'll come back stronger next time. Thank you.
And talking of coming back stronger, it's actually your first time on this high school's debate train. How do you think the experience has been for Osei Adutwum after all?
It's been wonderful. The experience is actually new, but the feeling is actually enormous, and we are grateful to God for how far He has brought us. We know that next year we are coming for gold.
Okay, all right, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I would love to actually speak to your lady, so please do bring them around. Let's have a conversation now. Back to the victors of the day, Prempeh College. George, Osei Adutwum was a first-timer ever on this particular run or train. Didn't they scare you?
Not really. This is Prempeh College. We are mighty. You can't scare us. But they've been giant killers until now. The eliminated OT came with St. Monica's, your own school, of course.
I know, right?
It's a shame. For some records, if you observe, any contest day we come with them. So the principal speaker is a friend. We just had some conversation last time we came. It's a shame. This contest was fixed for the final. I think they gave us a very good contest.
I see. And what is the goal for Prempeh? Is it just to be at the semi-finals, or there's a bigger picture for Prempeh College?
It's an understatement if you say so. We've been there severally. It's last year that we got out of the first stage. Consistently, we've been there. 3 times finalists and winning 2023. So let's see what happens. We take contest after contest. But the most important thing, as I told my boys, is to get to the semi-finals and you are seeded. That is where we belong. Going to the Lions Den there, we live. I can say that.
I see. Let me speak to your brother also here, and maybe he will share some few words. Prempeh College, congratulations once again.
Thank you very much.
And what does this victory make you feel like, or what does it mean to you?
As my colleague said, we've been there before. We won it before, 3-time finalists, and this is not news. Against Adutwum, I think it was quite a cagey contest. They matched us, but as everyone saw over there, we out-treated them and surely taking it contest by contest, and we shall be there.
Okay, all right. Let me speak to the debaters from Osei Adutwum. Sweethearts, come over. Let's have a conversation. You girls did so amazingly well. Just pass behind me and let's have a conversation. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
Not bad.
But you know you're still a winner. Did Prempeh scare you? Did the name Prempeh College scare you?
No, and it will never be.
I see. It's a first time for your school, and how have you seen the experience?
The experience has been good, yeah.
Nice. That's fine. Just hold on. Let me speak to your sister here. Sophia, what are you taking home today?
We know we've done our best, and so we know we've done a lot of rehearsal, and so this is what God has brought us far, so yeah.
Do you want Prempeh to win the 7th edition?
I can't tell, I can't say.
But do you have any words for them? I mean, they beat you today.
I say they should keep doing much more better than this, yeah.
Okay, all right. So she says Prempeh should do much more better than they have done today. But she cannot tell me whether she wants Prempeh College to win the 7th edition. But all the same, they have done amazingly well. Our beautiful ladies from Osei Adutwum. It was their first time ever on the Love FM High Schools debate. And we'll be running up very soon. But I would like to say thank you to the Ghana Education Service, the Christian Service University, the Conference of Heads of Assisted Senior High Schools, the Ashanti Regional Students Representative Council, Joy Prime, Joy Learning, and all our proud sponsors for being with us on the 7th edition of the Love FM High Schools debate. Tomorrow we'll see contest 3 of the quarterfinal stage of this amazing competition. Yes, the leading debate in town, and also the platform given to our younger ones to have a voice on issues of national interest. And so let's have our Prempeh College debaters join us right now. Our debaters from Prempeh, let's have a conversation briefly and see what you're also taking away from here to school. Congratulations. You know, there were some of the comments and people said you were preaching, we should give you a Bible. Is that where it is landed finally?
Well, when this story is remembered, only one word will be mentioned: God. We came here with God and we are leaving with God. And so if I sound like a preacher, then it's by the grace of God. And I wore it like a medal of honor around my neck, because we are taking God all the way to the finals, all the way to the trophy, and we are ending with God, because we came with God and we end with God.
Okay, my dear friend, you had seen these beautiful ladies perform over the couple of times. When you were coming to meet them today, what was at the back of your mind?
Before I start, I would like to thank God, because Prempeh College is God, as you always say. And if Prempeh College is God and God is Prempeh College, and they are meeting God, how do they expect to win? So it's been God, so far is God, and to be God to the end. Yes.
And what, Twitter, come, let me have a conversation. I know you were not performing or you didn't go on stage today, but what message you want to share with us when it comes to our ladies from Osei Adutwum?
Well, I have just one thing to say, is that God is the one that gives victory. So we came here with God, and we know that we are not going to lose, because God has plans of prosperity for us. Yes.
Okay, so keep the conversation happening still on social media with the hashtag LUVFMHSD. My name is Patricia, and from production here in Kumasi, we say thank you so much for listening to us on radio, Love 99.5 FM, watching us on TV, Joy Prime and Joy Learning, the channel where you keep learning. Like I said, tomorrow we have another competition, so don't go anywhere. We have more for you on the 7th edition of the Love FM High Schools debate. We'll be taking the Jama. Prempeh College, are we ready with the Jama? Are we ready? Where are we? Seniors, Okay, so are we ready with the Jama? We are. Okay, on 3, 2, 1. Are you singing the school anthem? Okay, Amafo, arise
and shine. Students of Prempeh College, training up for truth and excellence.